The coffee was still dripping from my sleeve when she said it, too loud, too proud. My husband is the CEO of this hospital. The words landed heavier than the ceramic mug, burned more than the liquid. People froze, nurses mid-step. A patient's monitor beeped on, indifferent to my humiliation. I looked down at my blouse, stained brown, then back up at her smile, sharp, rehearsed, confident in borrowed power. I nodded. Calm is a skill you learn when rage would cost you everything. I took out my phone. "You should come down here," I said softly. "Your new wife just threw coffee all over me." I used to believe hospitals were sacred, clean lines, honest work, lives over egos. I built my career here, quietly, methodically, running the compliance audits nobody wanted, fixing leaks before they became scandals. I believed in systems. I believed in my husband too. We met during residency chaos, late nights, cold pizza, shared exhaustion that turned into trust. He rose fast, charisma, donors, boardroom smiles. I stayed behind the scenes, the one who knew where the bodies would be buried if the rules were ignored. We were a team, or so I thought. The intern wasn't the betrayal, she was the symptom. The signs had been whispering for months. A locked phone, dinners with donors that smelled like perfume, not money, a name that appeared in HR files more often than chance allowed, rotations adjusted, evaluations inflated, exceptions carved where none should exist. I didn't confront him. Confrontation is sloppy. I watched. I archived. I let the truth stack itself. The key moment came when I reviewed a blind audit and recognized his handwriting on a consent override. Not illegal, not alone, but it cracked the facade. From there, the pattern emerged. Preferential scheduling, quiet bonuses masked as stipends, a shell foundation paying research grants to a name that matched the intern's married name. Married, that was the word that stopped me. Planning feels cold from the outside. From the inside, it's clarity. I separated emotion from action. I moved my shares into a retirement trust, my trust, activated upon a single trigger, reputational risk tied to executive misconduct. The lawyers loved the elegance. The board never asked why I insisted on voting rights. They assumed loyalty. I mirrored his steps. I knew the hospital's arteries, the procurement shortcuts, the donor clauses, the bylaws that gathered dust because no one expected them to matter. I gathered timestamps, badge swipes, email headers. I didn't need to prove love had died. I needed to prove governance had. When the intern walked into that lobby with a coffee and a crown she didn't earn, the trigger tripped. He arrived 10 minutes later. Security parted for him like water. His face went pale when he saw me, not angry, afraid. He knew that look. He'd seen it once before, years ago, when a surgeon tried to bully a patient's family, and I ended his tenure with 3 emails and a policy citation. The intern laughed. "Told you," she said, pointing at me. He didn't look at her. He looked at the stain on my blouse, then at the phone still in my hand. "Go upstairs," he told her. She hesitated. Power hates being redirected. I said go. By Monday morning, the board convened an emergency meeting. The CEO started strong. He always did. Confident, measured. He tried to frame it as a misunderstanding, a personal matter blown out of proportion by sensitive compliance interpretations. I waited. When he finished, I spoke for the first time. I didn't raise my voice. I never do. "I agree," I said. "This isn't personal, it's procedural." I slid the binder forward. Voting proxies, trust activation, share distribution. A cough, a shuffle. Someone asked the question that ends careers. Who just fired the person who owns 76% of the shares? Silence is louder than applause. The fallout was surgical. His access was revoked before lunch. The intern's contract dissolved by sunset. No cause needed, just policy. Donors called me, not him. The press never got a scandal. They got a transition. Clean, controlled, effective. He texted me once, just once. "You planned this." I replied with the truth. I prepared. There's a difference. One is emotional. The other is inevitable. I resigned a week later. Not in disgrace, In triumph, I didn't need the building anymore. The hospital would outlive him. Systems usually do. I kept the coffee-stained blouse, not as a trophy, as a reminder that humiliation is a spark, not a sentence. Power doesn't announce itself. It waits, it documents, it moves when the timing is perfect. People ask if I regret not confronting him sooner, if love deserved a warning. Love got years, betrayal got a meeting. And the intern, she learned what borrowed authority costs when the lender defaults. I learned something better. When they say you're outdated, smile. When they say you're done, nod.